As songwriters, Kurt Cobain and Ed Sheeran couldn't be further apart, right? In this video, I'm going to show you some easy songwriting tips that they've both used and we can too. Hi, I'm Tony from SongWriters Shop. When it comes to writing songs, there's many ways we can make our lyrics stand out and tell the story we intended to. So let's have a look at a few of those techniques. Using chord changes and space to emphasize important lyrics. When and how we change chords can grab the attention of the listener, and when you get someone's attention, you should say something important. And this can even be enhanced when the chords change in a surprising way. Let's have a look at the chorus of In Bloom. The chorus plays two tonic chords and doesn't have much movement, but it sets up our expectations with the chords changing every half bar. Then to emphasize the main point of the song, but he knows not what it means, the chords switch to a subdominant function. This creates more movement and they change on the and 3 beat, a half a beat earlier than we expect. The word means lands on the and 3 and is emphasized with a surprising chord change half a beat earlier than we expect. Then it leaves space after the important message for extra emphasis. We see a similar technique in Ed Sheeran's Bad Habits. He makes use of the chord changes to emphasize keywords in the lyrics.
Every time you come around, you know I can't say no. Every time the sun goes down, you know you take control.
The D chord has a quick move to the F sharp bass note on the third beat of the bar, emphasizing the words can't say no, take control, world implodes. Then it moves down to G for nearly 2 bars, leaving some space as if to let us think about what he just said. So when and how we change chords can grab the listener's ear, so why not use it to our advantage? Both of these songs are using chord changes and space to help get the lyrical message across. Let me know in the comments who you think uses this technique better, Kurt Cobain or Ed Sheeran. Personification. Personification is when we give an abstract concept human traits. In Bloom uses personification to make a general group of people more tangible by distilling it down to he. He also does it with nature. And Ed Sheeran approaches the subject of the lyric, his bad habits, by giving them a human trait. This is a solid lyric writing technique and we can use it to make more abstract concepts tangible and personal. It helps us draw a more concrete picture with our lyrics and draw the listener into the situation. It can be hard to write about abstract things like emotions or attitudes without sounding too vague, and personification can be the perfect antidote for that. Ed Sheeran talks to his bad habits like they're a person, and Kurt Cobain talks to a group of people like they're one single person. In Bad Habits, the lyric point of view is direct address. This point of view is intimate and close up. With direct address, we mix first and second pronouns like I and you. The singer, I, is talking directly to someone, you. That can be a character in the song or the audience listening to the song. Let's look at the effect it has if we change the lyric to a third person point of view. In a third person point of view, the singer is talking to the listener about some third party. And that third party is the subject of the song. So we might get something like, every time they come around, they know he can't say no. Or every time the sun goes down, he lets them take control. Now the lyric feels a lot less personal and loses that intimate connection because we're being told a story about someone we don't know. But sometimes that distance will be perfect for getting the song's message across. Look at Nirvana's In Bloom. He's the one who likes all our pretty songs. It's always a creative choice to which point of view you feel is emotionally appropriate to your lyric. In the Nirvana song, Kurt Cobain is singing about superficial fans. So those fans are distant from the band, and it makes total sense that he'd put them at a distance in the lyrics by using a third person point of view. Look at the lyric if we use direct address. You're the one who likes all my pretty songs. Now it feels like he's talking to one person in particular, and he seems a lot more bitter and a lot less sarcastic than the original lyric. It kind of takes away from the point Kurt Cobain was trying to make about those superficial fans and puts more of a focus onto him feeling bitter about it. But with Ed Sheeran, he's talking about his bad habits. There's something personal and close. So it makes sense to talk about them in that way in the lyric. Let's look at it in third person again. Every time they come around, they know he can't say no. When this lyric is in a third person point of view, Ed seems to be more critical and judgmental about someone else. And again, we can see by just changing the pronouns, the singer now seems a lot less likable. It puts the singer in a bad light and makes the lyric less appealing. Switching point of view. With Bad Habits in the chorus, Ed Sheeran switches to a first person point of view. It's less intimate than the verse, and it zooms out and gives the audience a chance to sing along in the first person. He now includes the audience. So instead of Ed singing to his bad habits, he's singing to the audience about his bad habits. And that gives the audience a chance to sing along and join in to talk about their own bad habits. If the chorus had been left in the same point of view, direct address, as the verse, it would have had a lot less of that outward anthemic feel for the audience to join in with. And we can see a similar approach within the Vanna song. The verse is in first person. Although he doesn't use a lot of pronouns, he does use we. It's more intimate. He and the audience are one. But the chorus moves to third person. Like Bad Habits, this has the effect of zooming out, and now the singer and the audience are both looking together at he. This video was requested by one of my Patreon supporters. If you enjoy these videos, why not head over to Patreon and throw $1 in the tip jar. Catch you next time.